Hey amazing hackers, this episode is sponsored by the Cybersecurity Hat, the ultimate hacking platform where you can learn in a fun and a practical way using exclusive frameworks that unlock amazing possibilities. In the description of this video, you will find all details for my special code on the Cybersecurity Hacked products. Just use R19 at checkout and enjoy. Hello, everyone. I'm Milton, and you are listening to another episode of R19.io podcast. In the show, I talk to hackers, security experts, and tech people from many parts of the world. We share real stories, simple techniques, and ideas from people who are making of the future of the cybersecurity. Today, I am very happy to talk with someone I have followed for many years. His work has helped and inspired many people in our area. He is top in cybersecurity expert, Microsoft MVP, speaker, trainee, author of many books, and a very respected name in cybersecurity. His name is Yuri Diogenes. Yuri, welcome to the podcast. It's really great to have you here with us today. And please introduce yourself to everyone here, please.
Thanks, Milton. It's a pleasure to be here. Thanks for the invitation. Yeah, as you said, I've been working in this field for a long time. Been working IT for 31 years, in cybersecurity for the past 18 years. Been work at Microsoft for the past 19 years. Actually, in
Yeah.
6 months, I'll be 20 years at Microsoft. Aside from my work at Microsoft, I lead a team of security PMs for our Defender for Cloud solution, cloud security solution. And also, I teach at University of Texas at Dallas on the cybersecurity program, as well as the EC Council University on their cybersecurity program, and Trine University on the information system program. Aside from these two careers, I'm a published author. So far I published 34 books, most of them around
Yeah,
cybersecurity.
it's amazing, bro. It's really a great career. And bro, what's the moment you made your choice to this field? When was the moment that okay, uh, are you okay? You are from Brazil. Okay, many people that you are from Brazil, and right now you live in USA. And what was the moment that you choose this field?
So when I moved to US in 2003, my specialty at that time was Exchange server. So I was a specialist on Exchange server, Exchange 5.5, then Exchange 2000, and then around 2005, that was 2005, I was starting to work more in the firewall area, learning more about firewalls and things like that. Because my first exposure to security was back in the day with Proxy 2.0 from Microsoft,
Okay.
which was our proxy server. Which Proxy 2 became ISO server. ISO server became Forefront Threat Management Gateway. Right?
Exactly.
So I learned Proxy 2 first, and then I learned ISO 2000. Actually, I am still certified Proxy 2, certified ISO Server 2000, 2004, and TMG. But it was in 2005 that I got my first cybersecurity certification, was the Security Plus. And also I started in 2005 be more exposed to different cybersecurity scenarios. I also started to study to CSSP. And the reason why I made this leap, it was because since I had a very strong background in network,
Okay.
for my many years working with Cisco routers, I was a CCNA, CCNP certified. I wrote the first CCNA book that was published in Brazil in 2001. The
Wow.
first ever book in Portuguese about the CCNA certification released in Brazil. So
I
my
don't
background
remember.
in network was very strong.
I don't remember, but in this time, just let me know. I probably you make mistake here, but I remember that in this time you had two options to the certifications. You have it's two paths: achieving CCENT one and CCENT two to achieve CCNA, or you could try to do directly CCNA. It's right in your time.
No, mine was prior to those things. It was really early days. It was CCNA 1.0.
Oh,
So it
it's
was
a long
very
time
early
ago.
on. Yeah, a long
Okay,
time ago. So it was pure CCNA. The path at that time was CCNA, and then you could, after CCNA, the next step would be CCNP.
okay.
So I got both certifications. So I had a very strong background in network. And also in Brazil, before I left, I was also a university professor for the computer and networks program. So I was teaching operating system in the
Mm-hmm.
computer science, and I was teaching computer networks as well. So I always been on this area of operating system and network. So it was a very smooth transition to me to go to
Mm-hmm.
security, mainly coming from network security standpoint. So that's why I
Okay.
migrated from network to firewalls, and I just continue to go up in the stack.
Okay. This is this. Yes, I think that the most part of the people, it's yes, old school people. Let's say old school people usually moved to cybersecurity with a background in network security, in data center and stuff like that. Was my case. I worked a lot of time with data center, network, and stuff like that. Uh, but I really many people ask me when I really moved to cybersecurity. I remember I remember that was probably in 20 yes, I probably will make mistake again, but I think it's probably 2010 or 2013 when yes, I think that was when was the big boom with Snowden. You know, you probably remember
Hmm.
when Snowden basically leaked information and stuff like that and created, and many people stopped to think, okay, right now I need to protect not only process and stuff like that, but right now I need to protect device, protect and another's endpoint inside my businesses. Yeah, I remember that my my move was probably in this time, but of course, uh, you came from another school, from another reality, and you have when I watching this session with you, this you have a book that you wrote behind you, Security Plus. This book
Yeah.
really helped me when in my first attempt when I did the Security Plus certification in 2024. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I achieved the all the new certifications of CompTIA, of cybersecurity, all stack. And I remember that when I did the first exam, when I did the first attempt at the Security Plus, and SCIO 401.
Hmm.
Yes, it's right. Yeah, was. Yeah, and yeah, really worked in many areas of security, from research to leadership. And I have a question. how did each part help your career? Because, for example, you already worked with network security. You already work worked with cloud security, right now AI, and many things in the same time. And how did each part help your career in its case? Like when I talk about your research, the side of research and the side of the leadership. Can you?
Well, it's an accumulation of knowledge that you start gaining over years, and the advantage of going through different fields within cyber is that you start gaining a better understand of the different defense layers. I've been in the perimeter back in the day when the perimeter still was a big deal with firewalls. Then move deeper into operating system security because I also moved from the perimeter between because I was dedicated to the ISO server between 2007 and 2011.
Mhm.
That's when in 2010 I released the first book in English here in US that I wrote, which was the Forefront TMG Threat Management Gateway 2010. But then we were deprecating Forefront TMG, and I left that team and I went to the Windows security team to
Mhm.
write about threats and countermeasures. So it was always good to know the different layers of protection and how to really understand how those things connect together, how they enhance the overall secure posture. And then in 2015, I was invited to this project called ROM. It was actually a prototype that
Okay.
our Israeli team was creating to give visibility about the different workloads in Azure from the security posture perspective. And I
Mhm.
was invited to write about this project as a
Oh,
technical
okay.
writer for this solution. That was 2015. So in November 2015, we released the public preview of Azure Security Center. And I
Okay.
was responsible for writing all the technical documentation, partner with the engineers and the developers. And then in 2017, I became product management for Azure Security Center. So to
Oh.
me, it's more a matter of understand that you should really take advantage of every
Mhm.
single opportunity to learn because what you learn later on is going to be super important to you. I call this the accumulation of experience. You
Mhm.
sometimes take things for granted because you are working in an area that you are not so passionate about and you want to do something else, but it's still important. So don't ignore the things that you
Yeah.
are learning because later it will really connect with other things.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
I'm always try to do my best, even if it is an area that I'm not so passionate. I will always have an open mind to learn new things and make sure that I digest those things, and I know that later on will be important.
Yeah. This is for people that are listening to this podcast right now. This is really a big advice, and I really appreciate this all these informations so far. And talking about many people, Yuri, want to grow in cybersecurity in 2025. It's not only in 2025, but in the last years, many professionals are moving to cybersecurity. And talking about leverage this time, what skills do you think that are more important today? Because, for example, we have a lot of type of um, certifications, a lot of type of courses and universities, and is each more harder to find really the good contents and good readings and stuff like that. And what you think that is more important today?
Well, I'm sure you know, but this book here that I wrote, The Building a Career in Cybersecurity, I
Okay.
wrote exactly to address this question because I've been
Okay.
teaching for the past 10 years here in US, and most of my students, although they were doing the university, they always had questions about what should I do, what area should I invest, what skills do I need. So when I released this book, I basically put all the my experience over the years, not only as a professional but also as a manager, hiring people.
Yeah.
When I interview people, I can identify the areas that they need to grow, the areas that they need to improve. So everything is on this book. The book is available in paperback, ebook, and Audible as well.
Okay.
Now, if I want to be very sincere, I cannot answer this question directly because,
Mm-hmm.
as you know, cybersecurity is a very broad area.
Yeah.
Nowadays, saying that you want to be a cybersecurity professional is almost like saying, I want to be a doctor. But doctor of what? What is going to be your specialty?
Yeah.
So usually cybersecurity is the main domain, but you have, for example, I want to be a cloud security architect, or I want to be a pen tester, or I want to be a CISO, I want to be an incident responder. So many options. And for
Yeah.
each one of those areas, there'll be different skills that you need to start developing.
Yeah.
So this is something that I talk in the book is first you have to identify what you want to do,
Yeah.
which area you really want to invest, and always make sure to choose an option not because is the term of the moment. For
Yeah.
example,
I know.
when we started DevSecOps, everyone's like, "Oh, I want to do DevSecOps," and
Yeah.
then a lot of people went to DevSecOps, and there was a lot of coding involved, and many people don't like coding, and that's fine. So they got very disappointed because they were not able to grow in that area, and then they moved to a different one. But now you wasted time and you went in a direction that was not the direction that you were really passionate about. So I believe that you need to be passionate about what you do. So the first step is identify where you want to go, what you want to do. And
Yeah.
once you have that very well established, then you can identify the next step. Okay, what are the skills that this type of position are required for me to perform the job for this position. Right? So you have to tailor your learning roadmap based on the skills that are required for that job. So
Yeah.
it is a journey that requires this self-reflection first. And based on that self-reflection, you are going to develop your skills. Of course, there are unanimous skills in cybersecurity. For example, you should know network. You should definitely know how networks they function, TCP/IP, the basic stuff. Operating
Yeah.
system. What is a process? What is a thread? How they work? How they correlate? Oh, operating systems and computer networks is mandatory. That's why a lot of people
Yeah.
that they do computer science, they at
And many
least
people
leave the
forget this right
university.
now. Many people
Right.
forget this right now.
Forget. They forget why? Because they were born in the era of cloud. So they just provision things, but they don't know what is running behind the scenes. You ask them to
Yeah,
do a
exactly.
subnet mask calculation, have no idea how to do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's very important. I believe that the core foundational knowledge is still imperative to get started because
Yes,
everything is going to
I
build
agree.
on top of that.
Yes, I agree. I agree with the same thought. I really think that many people usually when I'm teaching for people that are starting in cybersecurity, many times I see people that never tried to or how to know how to basic things in network. For example, if sometimes in courses like uh, that I talk about penetration testing like C8 or CPANT, usually when you compromise one network device, usually these guys don't know what the next step, because never open one command line interface and put commands there. And this is really yes, this is my opinion. uh, the lack of the base basically are creating it's like a big hole of professionals in cybersecurity in general, because right now it's really easy. In my time, okay, I have the time that you have working with cybersecurity, that is the same that is my age. I have 31 years old. I am 30 I am 31 years old. And uh, but at my time, I could touching things more. It's more. I in the past I felt more hacker than now, because in the past you needed to, you have problems with internet connection. You don't have materials available on the internet. And right now you have AI, you have many others materials available in many platforms. And I think this is more easy than, okay, 10 years ago. And people are joining in cybersecurity area without to the basis knowledge. And this is sometimes people that join like that usually frustrate yourself, because, okay, don't understand basic things. And this is to me, it's really a big problem. Yeah, but this is just my thought about.
No,
Um,
I agree. I agree, and you know, we can even do a analogy here because you are a black belt. It's like try to learn jujitsu, skipping the foundations and skipping the
yeah, exactly,
basics,
exactly.
um, skipping the whole white and blue belt era and trying to go straight to purple. It's
Yeah,
not gonna work. You have to know the foundation. So I think with security is
yeah,
very
for sure.
similar. Having the foundation, a strong foundation, helps
Yeah.
you to understand everything else that comes after.
Yes, yes, for sure. This was the best explanation. Yeah. Um, Yuri, both sides of security attack, defense, and talking about businesses. You already was consultant and things like that. And what you think um, are the most common mistakes companies make to protect against attacks? What do you think today with, okay, right now businesses has access to many technologies and many approaches, stuff like that. But what do you think that this is the common mistakes that companies make to protect against attacks?
Well, the main mistake is really investing only in threat detection because everyone wants to have a SOC and everyone
Mhm.
wants to send the alerts to the SOC. And they are literally flooding the SOC with alerts. Now you have a situation that you have more alerts to triage. But why is that happening in the first place? Well, because you don't invest in posture management. You
Mhm.
don't invest in proactive posture management. As a matter of
Yeah.
fact, year over year on our digital defense report, we show customers that 98% of the cybersecurity threats could have been prevented with basic security hygiene.
Yeah.
So think about that, 98%,
Yeah.
which
It's
means that
really a
people
big
really don't do
number.
the homework. They
Exactly.
don't do the homework. It's incredible. So instead of investing in posture management and enhancing the secure posture of the environment, they only invest in threat detection. Look, threat detection is important. You should have, but But this doesn't excuse you for not doing posture management, because if you only rely on threat detection, you are always going to be reactive, and you need
Yeah,
to be proactive. You need
yeah,
to start to be more proactive.
yeah, yeah. Sometimes I agree with that, and like a consultant too. And I'm here in Portugal. I audit many businesses, not only here in Portugal but in Europe. And sometimes you see both sides. You see uh, uh, the side that just focus on detection, and you can see the side that just focus and just believe only in endpoint protection and forget another measures that this business need to have to create a big posture, a strong posture, and uh, with so many threads today, how do you see the balance between defense and offensive testing? Because this is sometimes uh, is a big question for many, just not for many people, but for many businesses that don't believe uh, in 2025 that, for example, offensive security testings is necessary or is not necessary, for example, to invest in defense tools or architectures or stuff like that. What you think? What you see the balance between defensive and offensive testings?
Well, it goes back to what I said. Everything starts with an exploitation of a vulnerability. So the question comes back to why this vulnerability was exploited in the first place. Well, because it was available to be exploited. And why it was available? Well, lack of security hygiene. So you have to invest in posture management across all your workloads. And the challenge now is that a lot of companies, they are going to this multi-cloud deployment where they have workloads in different cloud providers, which is
Yeah,
fine, but they have to have centralized visibility. Dealing with multiple dashboards is a chaos, is a recipe for disaster.
yeah,
And the mindset is starting to shift. Is not anymore about best in breed. It's more about what is the best solution to aggregate everything in one single
yeah,
place.
sure.
So one of the things that Gartner has been talking a lot about is the CNAPP, the Cloud Native Application Protection Platform, which is a platform that aggregates everything, all the insights from vulnerability management, posture management, workload protection, all these things in one single dashboard. That will reduce the return of investment, will be more agile for you to find things, and most importantly, we'll do data correlation, right? Because
Yeah,
doing data correlation from multiple signals is very challenging. But if you have a platform that is able to analyze the data that is coming from your entitlement management, from your vulnerability assessment, from your workload protection, putting this in one single place and correlate, and then
yeah.
tell you what you should prioritize and what the risks are, that's the best thing
Yeah,
that they need to do.
yes, Microsoft and another players right now are working really strong. I use, for example, my businesses use the platform of Microsoft, Microsoft Office, Office, Microsoft Office 365 Defender, that basically aggregate all the things in the same place. MDM, ADR, DLP, and stuff like that in the same place. And I remember that my businesses 3 months ago have been passed for one audit um, to MSP Alliance. And when I and okay, you have a right now you have a one security posture, security score, that show you the posture of your businesses based on data, based on endpoint, based on vulnerabilities and vulnerability assessments and stuff like that. And it's really, really interesting. And right now, it's to me, in my opinion, it's more accessible than 10 years ago. 10 years ago, you needed to have the same informations. You needed to have many another tools, many another players, and stuff like that. And right now, with only one player, you have a possibility to have all the informations aggregated in only one dashboard. And the Microsoft is a one example that Microsoft Defender used the same structure. And I don't remember now, but have one, for example, for MSP businesses like me, you have an option to use Microsoft Lighthouse, that you can join another tenants with the same, and you can monitor another tenants for services like SOC. You can use this manage another tenants in one centralized place, let's say. And yeah, to me, this is really. I think that this is not only for me, but for many other businesses, and for many security professionals. It's like a dream that right now what happened. It's happened because really try to uh, aggregate all in the same dashboard. To me, it's like a dream. But like you said before, many people or many businesses don't make the basic. Okay, many businesses don't try to invest the basic. And if I compare, if I make a one compare between uh, 10 years ago and 2025, it's more accessible, it's more cheaper than 10 years ago. And I don't know what the businesses until now don't try to focus on the basic. This is to me, this is create a big trouble in my mind. But like a consultant, like a auditor too, I saw this many times. Yeah. And talking about companies, Yuri, do you think that companies teach enough security to their staffs? Because this is another side. Right now, I'm talking about people. And do you think that companies teach enough security to their staffs?
No. Actually, there is really a lack of secure awareness programs within companies. Only the major, the big ones, will have a proper secure awareness training. And sometimes the secure awareness training is very static, or just reading, so it's very boring. People really don't understand. Many companies, they need to go through a really revamp of their secure awareness program, to have more hands-on, to have more simulations, because
Yeah.
how an user will even identify a potential phishing or a potential threat if they only learn about those things theoretically. So some companies, they do a pretty good job, but I believe that the vast majority do not. As a matter of fact, my dissertation for my PhD dissertation was about the increase of cybersecurity threats during the first 2 years of COVID.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that I found on this research is that many companies that didn't have proper secure awareness training, they were way more susceptible during
Yeah.
the first 2 years, because during the first 2 years of the pandemic, a lot of companies, they rapidly migrate to work remotely. They rapidly enable people to be productive remotely, but of course, security was an afterthought. They were very concerned to get people up and to speed, enabling them, and then security came after that. So during that time, we saw a huge increase in phishing email as well, because phishing email deals with social engineering. It deals with
Yeah.
the human factor, and if the human is not prepared, they will click on things. So
Yeah. And but right now, do you agree and do you think that right now it's more easy for people learning about cybersecurity? It's like in general because
no, it was definitely way more accessible. Nowadays, we hear about
yeah,
cybersecurity on the news, so the level
exactly.
of overall awareness is much bigger. People
Yeah.
know about it. Do they do anything about it? Sometimes no, they don't. But they are definitely more aware of the risks. Uh, but again, going back to the number one threat that we still see for end users is still phishing.
Yeah.
And it works. It works because it's cheaper for the threat actors to create campaigns, and the return of investment is high for them, because nowadays they can even leverage AI to create phishing email campaigns,
Yeah.
which happens worldwide.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. I share with the same thought. With my businesses, we started okay 1 year ago with with a Brazilian platform and have another platforms around the world, but has many platforms that you can teach for your employees. You can learning about fishing. You have campaigns focused on your employees, and I think this is more accessible and more cheaper to know about that. Like you said, it's
Yeah,
really depends on uh, really about like this depends on I think that depends on the manager. It depends on the board of directors look for and look for that and put this like and put one prioritization in cybersecurity. Yeah.
absolutely. Is
Yeah.
a matter of changing the culture. Many companies, they do not have a cybersecurity mindset. The culture is not there, so they need to go through this change in the overall culture to include security from day one on everything they do.
Yeah. Yeah. And Yuri, you are famous for your work with certifications. You have many certifications. You already wrote books talking about certifications. And how important are certifications for someone starting in cybersecurity nowadays?
Yeah, it's funny because I saw that you asked similar question to your previous to one of your guests. I think it was the
Okay.
first show, and I remember him say certification is just a piece of paper. You know, yeah, I laugh about this because I understand what is saying. To me,
Mm-hmm.
certification is more than a piece of paper, because certification to me is a roadmap, is a learning
Mm-hmm.
roadmap. The way I see
Mm-hmm.
certification is a great opportunity for you to go through a well structured series of topics that you're going to learn about something to be
Mm-hmm.
proficient. And then
Yeah.
passing the exam, it will be a consequence.
Yeah.
That should be the focus. The focus should be what I'm going to learn throughout this journey as I'm studying to take the exam. This is the main thing. The
Yeah.
certificate itself is just a consequence because you already learned.
Exactly.
The problem is a lot of people, they do not start to learn; they start to pass the exam, and there
Yeah,
is a
exactly.
difference.
Exactly.
There is a
I
difference
agree.
in, for example, oh, I'm gonna do a lab for this chapter, and I'm gonna learn about this and have some hands-on, that's great, because now you have some hands-on practice. You were exposed to an environment that you would not be if you were not studying. So now you are learning, and then you're going to do the exam and you're going to pass, because again, it's a consequence.
Exactly.
So you make sure that you use the opportunity of study for a certification to actually learn about that topic, and then worry about the exam when it's time to worry about the exam. But first, you have to learn. Don't do the other way around, which is what a lot of people do, which is only focus on uh, learn the minimum to pass. That
No.
you are wasting time, because at
Yeah,
that
exactly.
time, yes, at that time, the certificate becomes just a piece of paper, because you really don't know. So I
Exactly.
think that for whoever is starting this transition to cybersecurity, certification is a great way for you to have a structured way of learning through different steps. For example, if you want to start in cybersecurity, I love Computer Security Plus as the number one certification, because it gives all this ground foundation.
Yeah.
Although there is one a new certification from ISC Square, which is the cybersecurity certification, is even more foundational than Computer Security Plus. So for people that want to do ISC Square, which is not Square anymore, it's ISC 2 now. ISC
Hmm.
2 cybersecurity certification as the first one, do it, because right now actually they are giving for free. So you can
Yeah,
go
exactly.
to ISC2 /CC and follow the steps. You're gonna have a free training and free certification, and this is
Yeah.
temporary until they reach a certain number. So my
Yeah.
point is, just to summarize, I think it's a great roadmap to study. It's
Okay, for
better
sure.
to do this. It's better to have a well-structured way to study and learn
Yeah, exactly
than
point.
just go randomly on YouTube and start watching every single
Yes,
video that you see.
this is a great
Because
point.
you if you randomize your learning, you again, you are losing the opportunity to build your foundation.
Exactly. That's a great question. That's a great point. And sometimes, for example, I remember that I achieved all cybersecurity certifications from CompTIA, the president of Latin America, sent me a message to take the one picture with all the certifications. And many people ask me, bro, uh, are you using some dump or stuff like that? How you could achieve all the certifications in 6 months? How you did to do that? Do you use it? What material you use? And my answer was the same. I just looked the material. Of course, many the most part of content inside that certifications that I achieved in 2024. I already had acknowledgement from another certifications, but in my opinion, the best way to study uh, f- for certification stuff like that, it's using the official material from enfim, yeah, the
From the vendor, yeah, from the
exact the
vendor.
vendor, yeah, from the vendor. Exactly. I sometimes I forget this word, including Portuguese. This this when you are learning English, sometimes you probably this was happened with you in the past. Sometimes I forget words in Portuguese, and when you try to find this word in English, you what am I call it? What this word? And sometimes this happened with me, and I'm sorry for that. In English, isn't my native language, but I'm trying to do it. Yuri Diogenes. How can you say he's from Brazil? But he lived in US. It's more or less 30 years, and then it's Yuri. It's already from the USA, and but he probably know my difficulty right now. Um, okay, and talking for experienced people, like I said, you have a lot of materials available in internet. And how can they choose the next certifications? For example, um, uh, in one specific time, I achieved 35 certifications. And this advice, what you think about for experienced people, how can they choose the next certification? Do you think?
Well, first of all, they need to be very strategic because you don't really have once you achieve certain point in your career, you may not need to take every single certification that is available. So first of all, you have to be very strategic. What's going to be your next step? Because now you probably have already a well-established job. Probably is not the job that is asking you to take that certification. In some rare cases, will be, but in many cases, it's not. So you have to be strategic. Where I'm going to invest my time and why? Because
Yeah,
if you cannot answer the why, then don't do it. The why needs to be, oh, because I think this is a very cool certification I would like to have because I'm going to learn a lot from it. um, do you have the means, the financial means to pay for that certification? Because some certifications are very expensive. So the question
yeah,
is it worth to invest that much money? So it really varies. There is not really a recipe. It really varies according to each individual in their need at that time. I see this a
yeah,
lot with professionals that reach a certain point. What is next from me? Well, right now that you are so well established, is certification really the best thing for you? Maybe it's not. Maybe it's a master degree. Why
yeah,
not? Invest two
exactly,
years in a master degree in cybersecurity. Now you have a university degree that will open different doors. So,
exactly.
uh, if it is not a need that is being pressured to you by your company or by a project, sometimes you are going to a project and whoever is hiring you is saying, look, I'm looking for professionals that have these certifications. Okay,
Okay.
I'm gonna study and take it. So you have to have a motivation, you have to have a reason to do it. So that's why I don't think it's even fair for me to say, oh, for advanced users, go take this certification. Because why are you going to take what is the return of investment, and why do you need that?
Yeah, yeah, yes. This interesting, insightful, because uh, for I know many professionals that, including uh, has much more certifications than Milton, but uh, each time it's more harder to find. Okay, and like you said, it's really interesting and important right now. Looking for where you invest your time. This is really interesting thought about. Yeah, and leveraging this question, how do you keep learning with so many changes every day? How Yuri Diogenes keep learning with all the things change all the time?
I'm actually very fortunate to be in one of the biggest uh, technology company in the world at Microsoft, which immediately give me access to a lot of information, and I have to keep up to date on my space. My space is cloud security, especially around cloud native application protection and secure exposure management. Those are the domains that my team owns, and I manage a team of PMs for that. So I
Hmm.
have a scope to learn and to keep myself updated. But if you
Okay.
ask for me, for example, the latest threat in endpoint, I'm not going to be up to date because that's not my scope. So
Okay.
again, going back to be strategic, you
Yeah.
cannot overload yourself with massive amount of information if there is no need for you to do that. You have to be
Exactly.
strategic how you're going to use your time. Time management become very important. Uh, So I am strategic when it comes to, okay, which areas do I need to be up to date? I need to be up to date because we actually have, as part of our cloud security solution, we have threat detections for AI, and goes on, right? So I try to stay up to date in the areas that I own at work. Now, since I also a university professor in a cybersecurity course, I also focus on staying up to date in that domain that I have to teach.
Okay.
Uh, but it's better this way to have a scope and to have areas that I need to be up to date than try to learn
All
everything
the
that is going
things. Oh
around.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
it's not manageable, and I don't need that.
And
I
it
don't
can be
know. I don't need to be an
frustration.
Yeah. I don't need to be an oracle that knows everything. I need to
Yeah,
be good on what I do, and I need
yeah,
to
for
keep up
sure.
to date on the things that I do.
Yeah.
So, and I have to be strategic with my time because I'm pretty busy with
Yes.
three university, full time job at Microsoft, projects to write books. I work literally 7 days a week.
Oh,
I don't really take a weekend off. I don't know what weekend off means.
yeah. Yeah, I know. I know. I can
I take
imagine.
like 4 hours on Saturday, maybe it's 5 hours on Sunday, but I have always things to do.
Yeah, I know that. I follow you all the time, and I see you working all the time. When you don't work, you are in the gym and in jiu-jitsu and stuff like that. This man don't
Yeah, you
stop.
have to keep the balance, right? I
Exactly.
really try to stay engaged in sports because to me it helps with my mental clarity. It helps me to stay sharp, and I believe that if you have a healthy routine, it helps on how productive you can be.
Yeah, for sure. I agree with that for sure. And um, leverage it. One more time. Leverage it. This trends. Let's say AI is becoming very important in cybersecurity for attackers, for defenders, and right now have, for example, tools that create that was created for businesses that say, okay, right now if you buy this tool that make penetration test with AI, you don't need to hire professionals because right now you are full protected. How AI is change our field? What do you think about that? This
Yeah, just
question.
first of all, we need to be very careful with the adoption because there are different lenses that you have to play. A lot of companies they want AI to be more productive. They want to create Gen app AIs. They want to create AI agents. So there is the development side of the house that companies wants to accelerate their business, do different types of business by leveraging AI. And then there is the cybersecurity teams that will be leveraging AI to either detect threats or enhance the secure posture. So those are two different lanes. If you think about the company that they want to create a chatbot, for example, we've seen this a lot with banks that are
Mm-hmm.
already creating chatbots to talk with their customers.
Mm-hmm.
As they start creating those Gen AI apps, they really have to put security uh, in the center of everything from day
Yeah.
zero,
Between.
because they
Yeah.
need to have the proper security controls in place before they put this in production. It can be very dangerous to not have proper controls to detect OWASP top 10 for LLM, like prompt injection and things like that. So they
Mm-hmm.
have to have those controls in place. Now, when you go to the cybersecurity teams and you think about how AI will impact this, I think it will greatly impact, positively impact, from the standpoint of I have, for example, friends that they are working in large organizations that instead of having five pen testers, they have two pen testers and three agents to do the work. So it will really help in many things. And then comes the fear, right? Well, are we going to get out of the job with AI? So that's the other tricky part, because we are
Yeah.
seeing already people losing jobs because AI is replacing them. This is a
Yeah.
reality. So you
Yeah.
need to really upscale your skills. If you are just doing the basics, um, AI probably will take your job. So you
Yeah.
have to upscale your skills. You have to learn how intelligently you can use those tools, and start to invest also in your soft skills, because that's something that AI was not going to replace, is your soft skills,
Exactly.
your
Exactly.
capacity to negotiate in situations, your capacity to lead conversations, lead projects, lead teams. That's very
Yeah.
important. Some people, they are pure technical. How we say in Brazil, escovador de
Mm-hmm.
beach, right?
Yeah,
People that
exactly.
only do the binary work and everything.
But
These
don't have
people are
soft
very
skills.
don't have soft skills. They don't even know how to approach a customer to try to resolve their problems, or
Yeah.
to try to understand their environment, or to get the big picture of what's happening. So all
Yeah.
these things are becoming more and more important in today's reality.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. For sure. And outside of work, I know a little about Yuri, like a person. Um, do you have hobbies that help you stay focused and motivated? I know for people that don't know Yuri yet, Yuri have a really beautiful story, and I remember that when I saw Yuri at the first time, Yuri was a fat man, really a big fat man, and to me this is really a big motivation, because if you look right now, Yuri basically moved to the fat man to the strong man, and participated from champions about uh, I don't
Bodybuilding,
know,
bodybuilding.
bodybuilding, exactly this word I forget, and this is, to me it's really a big motivation, because and but people that don't know you yet, um, uh, how you what help you to stay focused and motivated, because your agenda it's really busy, probably stressful and stuff like that. How you can manage this? What maintain you motivated?
Yeah. So I think that to talk about this, I need to go back to 2009 and 10, which were my peak of obesity, when I was almost 300 pounds.
Oh.
At that time, I was working the second shift of the instant response team, support for instant response at Microsoft, supporting our ISO server 2006 and things like that. And my shift was between 3 p.m. I am 1 p.m. was supposed to leave around 9 p.m. But there was always escalations, and I was always leaving at midnight. And super hungry, left the office and ate junk food for probably 2 or 3 years, and I got very fat. And I was started having healthy issues. I was always tired. I really couldn't operate. I was really down from the perspective of energy, and this was affecting my entire life. So
Yeah.
I started this journey of losing weight between 2011 and 2012. Between 2011 and 2012, sorry, 2012 and 2013, I lost 100 pounds. And in 2014, I did my first competition, my first bodybuilding competition here in Texas,
Okay.
for the NPC, the Amateur League. I got dead last place on that competition, and I was super
Okay.
happy about that because my
Yes.
goal was not to win. My goal was to be on stage.
Okay.
And but as soon as I left the stage, I said, "Look, next year I want to come and I want to be on top three because I want a medal. I really want
Yeah,
to
oh
have
my.
that medal." So in
Interesting.
2015, I got second place, which was great. Was a great
Yeah.
evolution. And then I
It's
came back
really
in
bigger.
2016 with the goal to win. So that my first win was actually in 2016 in Fort Worth, Texas, in another NPC competition. But my point is, it was the discipline that I built through those years of diet, of waking up early to do my cardio and having my proper nutrition. All that routine is so important. Routine changes
Yeah.
everything. So when you are able to establish a routine and you create that discipline, then everything changes because you see that you actually have a lot of time in 24 hours. And even
Yes.
because to me, my sweet spot as far as sleeping is 6 hours. If I sleep 6 hours, I'm good and I feel good. I cannot sleep 5 hours and 30. I'll be tired. But 6 hours is perfect.
It's perfect.
So
Okay.
to me, it means that I have a lot of time in my hands to do things. I have 18 hours. It's a lot of hours throughout the day. And I basically optimize my time. Nowadays, for example, I wake up 4:15, 4:20. Around 4:30, I'm already at the gym in my garage doing my cardio. Then I go to the sauna, and total workout takes 1 hour and 10. Take a shower, breakfast, and go. I have my first meeting because most of my some part of my team is actually in Europe and Israel that I
Okay.
manage. So I have a lot of
You have
meetings
a lot
early
of
in the morning. Uh,
the difference of time zone. It's really
it's
bigger
8
between
hours between
a
here
okay.
and Romania because I have some people in Romania, some people in Israel. So it's 8 hours difference. So my first meeting is usually 6 a.m., 6:30. So it's
Okay.
really busy between 6 until lunchtime. Lunchtime, I take a break, go to my judo class on Monday
Okay.
and Wednesday. I'm a brown belt in judo, and I go. Is a good
It's really hard.
relief.
Judo.
Judo is hard.
I'm
Judo is really hard. Yes, I
bro.
go there and I release some energy, but I also gain a lot of energy back. And on
Yeah.
Tuesday and Thursday at night, I go to jiu-jitsu where in jiu-jitsu I'm still purple. Uh, so I work out every day and I do martial arts Monday to Thursday. Sometimes I go also on Saturday, but depends. Now I'm gonna have a little bit more time because I just finished my PhD last week. I defend my dissertation.
Okay.
But I think that going back to the original question, I think that all those changing habits in watching my
And you play drums too.
oh yeah, during the weekends I usually play drums as well.
Okay.
So
You
it's
pl-
fun.
yeah, he plays drum. I'm a drummer too. Yes, I have many things that really appeared with Yuri. I am black belt in jiu-jitsu. I play drums. I like to many other things like cybersecurity. I a long time ago follow Yuri and send a message for via LinkedIn or via another social medias. And before I started this session, I said for Yuri, I don't know how this guy don't block me in the past because I been sent a lot of message for this man, these guys I really admire a lot. And okay, you go ahead. I'm sorry for that.
No, no problem. What I just want to conclude by saying that
Hmm.
to me, sports, the discipline that came from sports is it was imperative to change everything, and I was missing that because during my high school years in Brazil, I was a soccer player. So I know how sports can be a game changer when it comes to tough mindset, grit, discipline, resilience, and all those things. It translates to business. As a
Yeah.
matter of fact, one of my favorite books is Fontaine Groove, which was the personal trainer of Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant. The
Yeah.
book is called Relentless, and it's to
Okay.
me is one of the best books ever because it really describes how Michael Jordan became Michael Jordan. And there's a lot of discipline. There is a lot of try and error. Michael failed many times, and a lot of people they are afraid to fail, so they don't try things. So sports
Yeah.
totally translates to business. I actually have a podcast that is not even related to cybersecurity. It's called Overcome, where I actually interview athletes. I interview many Olympian athletes. We are on episode 80. I interview jiu-jitsu practitioners, judo practitioners, runners, any sport. But
Yeah.
I want to is a great way for me to also learn their techniques to accomplish things.
Yeah. This great, and thank you for sharing all this about your life. And if you could give advice to your younger self, what would you say today? What imagine? Okay, Yuri with 18 years old. What do you think? I mean, this is a classic question that I that I ask
Yeah,
for other
I would
people
say
here.
that I should have studied more, to be honest with you, because between my actually 13 and 18, I was so focused on soccer. I really wanted to be a soccer player at that time, and I like study. So I had to catch up later on. I only finished university, my bachelor's degree, when I was probably 24.
Okay.
Usually people finish way earlier than that. I finished later. Uh, so I think that I should have dedicated more early on study. I was never really a great student in high school because I was an athlete. So I was focused. I was
Yeah.
very focused on just play the game.
Yeah, I know that. And before we close, what final message would you like to share with our listeners? This is it. I ask for people that I came here in this podcast because um, sometimes are people that are thinking um, like to okay, I needed to be like Yuri in the future, like to be like another person, and what final message you'd like to share with our listeners right now?
Yeah, I think that the main message is really do what you are passionate about. Don't really follow the bandwagon just because everyone is going one direction. You have to go on that direction. Find something that you are passionate about because you're gonna dedicate a, the vast majority part of your day to a job, and doing a job just for the sake of the money without a bigger purpose or passion, you can get burnout pretty easy when you
Yeah,
don't have passion for what you do. Now
yeah,
if you are passionate about what you do, you love what you're doing, it becomes fun. You don't stress that much. But if you go to a direction just because everyone is going there because it's paying more, it's great to get more money, but if this is the only thing that you are taking out of that job, I guarantee you that you're not gonna last long. So just be
yeah,
very conscious about your choices and lead with passion.
yeah. Okay, okay. Uh, this is was really a great conversation, but people needed to know uh, how they can follow you. Or let me where can people follow your work? Where can people find your books and stuffs like that?
Yeah, I mean, I think that they is from the for the professional network perspective, the best place is LinkedIn. It's
Yeah,
linkedin.com/Yuri Diogenes all together. I'm also on X, same feed, x.com/Yuri Diogenes. Now, for everything else, including sports and everything else, then is on Instagram, where I post more about other things that are just not cybersecurity, which is the Y Diogenes
Okay,
altogether.
okay. Yuri, really, thank you very much for joining with me on the R19.io podcast. It really was a great talk. I'm sure our listen learn a lot of your experience. To everyone listen, please follow this podcast on Spotify, YouTube, and Instagram, and visit r19.io for more episodes. And see you next time. And please keep learning and improve in cybersecurity. Thank you again, Yuri.
Thank you.
His was really, really, really amazing conversation. I really love to talk with you, and I hope to talk with you again in the same place.
Thank you very much for having me. I appreciate it.
Okay, thank you. See you next time. Bye.